Boom. Phil pulls out his pew-pew and he points it at them and he forces them on the ground. And they're all like,
"Man, what the fuck, Phil?"
But whatever, Phil handcuffs them and puts shackles on them. And then he starts to take the cash out of the vault. And he loads it into an unmarked company van. 2 hours later, he's loaded all the money he can. About a half-ton worth of cash. And once the van is full of money, Phil forces Dan and James Brown into the back. Then he goes to the surveillance room and he finds all the security footage from that day. Footage of him committing this crime. And he steals all the tapes, so there's no evidence of him doing it. Then he hops into the van with Dan and James Brown still handcuffed in the back, and he speeds away. Now, in this moment, Phil has made off with just around $19 million in cash, which at the time of this happening is the largest heist in U.S. history. Now, with all of the places Phil could go with this money, he first decides to drive home to his house. And there, he forces James Brown out of the van and into the house. And then he shoves him into a closet and he handcuffs him to a pipe. And he just leaves him there. Then he drives away. And poor Dan, he's still handcuffed in the back. But Phil drives as far away as he can, all through the night. About 450 miles away. The next morning, he pulls up to a wooded area in the Blue Ridge Mountains. And he forces Dan to get out of the van and he marches him down the side of a hill. And there, he just handcuffs him to a tree. And then he drives away and he heads to a storage facility about an hour away. And there, he had rented a storage unit using a fake ID about 4 years ago. I told you he had been planning to do this for a long time. But once he's at the storage unit, he starts unloading all the money he stole into it. The next morning,